Papercrafters Library. In this video I'm going to show you how I created this birthday time tag featuring May Arts grosgrain striped half-inch ribbon. So let's get started. You're going to need a scrap piece of Papertrey's Stampers Select white cardstock. We're going to stamp our little girl image here, which is found in Papertrey's Tremendous Treats birthday stamp set, as well as the greeting, and this is the It's Birthday Time greeting. So we're going to first stamp the little girl's face using our jet black Memento ink, and you always want to make sure that you're using a jet black Memento ink because your Copic markers will not bleed when you use this ink. So we're going to ink up her face. We're just going to stamp that towards the top portion of our cardstock, just like so. And then I'm going to ink up my greeting and stamp it just below her. So once you've stamped your greeting as well as your image, you can set aside both of those stamps as well as your Memento ink. We're now going to color in the image. I'm going to be coloring in her face using my R0000 or pink Burrell Copic marker, R000 cherry white, as well as R01 to color her face. I will be coloring in her hair using my E55, E57, and E59 brown Copic markers. I will add in my pink highlights with her bows using my RV10, RV11, and RV13 pink Copic markers, and then her crown will be colored in using my Y15, Y13, and Y11 Copic markers. So you're just going to color those in, starting in one area at a time. I'm going to start with her face, and there's a few key tips here to remember while you're using with Copics, or while you're coloring with Copics. We here always start with our darkest and work into our lightest colors, and when you're holding your brush end of your marker, you want to make sure that you hold it on a slant, and you're going to use a slight brush stroke or feather stroke as you go. You do not want to press on the tip of your marker, and you just want to feather that in as you work. And depending on where you want your highlights to be, you will work around. I want the highlights to be towards the center of her face, so I'm just going to pull in my dark colors, adding only one layer of my color all the way around the outside, and then I'm just going to work darkest to lightest, pulling more color in. And if you notice, I will not overlap my colors. I start where my darkest color ended and then pull my medium marker in. I'm working in with my lightest one to fill in that last little center part, and now I'll just slightly overlap her darker colors with my feather stroke again, remembering not to press hard on the tip of your marker. You just want to start blending these colors in. So I generally do not come back in with my darkest color. I will go over the whole thing here, pulling in, trying to blend those colors together with my lightest one. And then I'm going to come back with my medium marker, and now you'll start to layer a little bit with that feather stroke. So just, again, keep in mind, don't press too hard on the tip. You just want to add in that light feather, working all the way around. And then you'll just do this to color in her hair, her bows, as well as her crown. So now I've colored in her face, and I've added in the colors for her hair, and now we're just going to add the color for the pink for her hair clips, as well as the yellow in her crown. So you're just going to keep layering your 3 different shades of your colors in order to give the dimension or the highlights and lowlights to each element to her face. So you'll just continue to do so. And like I stated earlier, I always work lightest to darkest, or sorry, darkest to lightest. So once you have colored all of the elements in the image, then we can set aside all of our markers, and we're now ready to punch out our image. I'm going to be using Stampin' Up's 2.5 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to insert my image into the punch, and I'm actually aligning the greeting towards the bottom of the punch before I punch it out. So I'm making sure that the greeting is straight and that the entire image fits inside my punch or my window, and I'm going to punch that out. Once you have it punched out, you can set aside your punch as well as your scrap cardstock. We're going to add in an element here to pop her crown a little bit farther. I have these tiny little rhinestones from Taylor Expressions, and I'm going to stick a few rhinestones to the top portion of her crown. I'm going to add adhesive to the back of my rhinestones with my sticky dots. So you're just going to pick out 5 little rhinestones, placing them onto the sticky dot sheet, creating the adhesive backing for these rhinestones. So I'm just going to place them onto the sticky dot sheets, making sure that they are face up when you do so. You want to make sure that the adhesive goes to the back of the rhinestone. And then you'll just lift each one of these onto her top points for her crown. So just lay them each out onto that sticky dot, adding in the adhesive, and then we're going to embellish the top of her crown with these rhinestones. So I'm just going to clean up any excess rhinestones that I have, set those aside. I'm just going to press the adhesive onto, or press the rhinestone onto the adhesive sheets, and then I'll be able to lift each of these rhinestones up and place it into that highlighted area where I want that on her crown. So you repeat this with all 5 of your rhinestones. So now that you have added in the rhinestones to the top of her crown, you can see that your focal point is now complete, and we're ready to add in our circle here to our mat as well as our tag base. You're going to set this 2.5 inch stamp circle aside for a moment, and you're now ready to cut those elements that we need. I've gone ahead and cut each of my mat and my tag. I've cut my tag base from a scrap piece of Regal Rose cardstock from Stampin' Up, and my mat is cut from a scrap piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock as well from Stampin' Up. Each of these elements is provided for you in an SVG file as well as the silhouette cut files. You're going to take your image and you're going to center and stick that to your mat using your dimensional foam pieces. So I'm going to be using my 3D foam pieces. So we're going to flip this over and place a few pieces of our dimensional foam on the back of our image piece, and you're going to center and stick that to your 2 5/8 inch circle here that you've die cut, and that is from your Pretty in Pink cardstock. So that's just going to leave a slight Pretty in Pink border around your image. Now you're going to flip this over, place a few of your 3D dimensional foam pieces on the back of your matted image. We're going to remove the backings from each of those. And you're now going to center and stick this to your tag base. So I'm just making sure that my tag is straight. And then I'm going to center and stick that, leaving equal borders around my matted image there. Once you have that complete, we're now ready to add in our holder or our ribbon towards the top. So I'm going to be using May Art's beautiful grosgrain striped ribbon. And I'm going to start with a 14 inch piece of ribbon, and this is the striped ribbon that they have, and I just pulled my colors actually from my ribbon to start with. Their ribbons are absolutely beautiful and so easy to work with. So I'm just going to insert one end of my ribbon through the hole in the tag base, bring the ends together towards the top, and I'm just going to take both ends and tie them together into a knot. Once you have that in a single knot, then you're going to take your ribbon scissors and you're going to trim off the top of the tag or the ribbon here on a slight angle, both ends, just cleaning the ends up from tying them into the knots. And there you have your finished birthday time tag. I hope you enjoyed stamping with me. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoy the way we teach, and would like to learn even more, we invite you to check out the Paper Crafters Library. Whether you're a beginner looking to learn the basics, or an advanced paper crafter looking to learn new skills and techniques, you'll find it all here. Stamping, card making, scrapbooking, and altered art, we cover it all. With over 1,000 videos currently in our library and approximately 50 videos added each month, we are the largest and most comprehensive online library of video tutorials for paper crafters on the internet. We invite you to visit our library and see what we're all about.